You know, God told us to take dominion over creation in the book of...
You know, God told us to take dominion over creation. And then you play the music so loud that you can barely even hear that dude talking. Maybe God should have told you to take dominion over the volume of your music.
Genesis. That means to study, understand, and control it. Now, why? Because we can learn so much from it.
I don't mean to, I'm not trying to disparage this dude, okay? I mean, I am, because he sucks, but like, I'm not trying to disparage him in this way, but I'm just going to tell you my first impression of him, and you tell me I'm wrong about this. This dude looks like an initially trustworthy character from a TV show that later ends up betraying the main character. Turns out he's the bad guy, or he's working with the bad guy. If you trust him with your kids, he molests your kids. If you trust him with your wife, he rapes your wife. If you trust him with the secret code, don't give these to the Nazis at any point. That's when you find out, you know, he's a Sig Heil son of a bitch. This is just that guy. This is the movie betrayer. This is the guy that's going to do the bad. This is the guy that's like, initially, he's the trustworthy. Oh, man, Bill, we've known you for years. Then it turns out, he was a liar the whole time.
I mean, we can even learn from a slug. A slug, you say?
What a delivery. I mean, we could even learn from a slug. A slug, you say? That's right, Jim. A garden variety garden slug.
Yeah. It turns out that there's a certain kind
I
of...
love that the audience he's trying to, like, appeal to is a group of people that would be incredulous that they could learn anything about a slug. Can you really learn something from a slug? It's like any intellectually curious person already knew that you could. So it's very weird. Like, you're clearly trying to talk to people who are so ignorant that they would poo-poo information garnered from observing a slug. Observing anything in this world, you can learn things. And you know, one thing I don't learn observing the behavior of a slug is that God is real. I learn an awful lot about slugs. Don't learn too much about God, though.
Slug that lives in Northern Europe, that slugs, when they move, they leave a slime trail. It's just kind of a sticky, gooey, watery thing. You can actually see their trail as they're crawling along. Well, scientists started to study...
Really? I did not know that. True facts, y'all. Did you guys know that slugs leave a trail? Therefore, Jesus. This has been a presentation of Moron Ministries.
This slug from Europe, and they realized their slime is very, very elastic, which means you can stretch it and it'll snap back, and very, very sticky. Now, for years, scientists have...
I'm still waiting around, man. This video is going to take a major turn at some point to get to God, huh? Because we started off with like, did you know slugs leave a trail? Did you know that the mucus trail the slug leaves behind is very sticky? It's very sticky. It's like, okay, what you got for me? How's this prove God?
Have used things like super glue to bind up wounds.
Okay.
And they thought, it's a little toxic and it turns a little brittle. What we need is a really flexible glue that will stay sticky. And they discovered this slug slime and thought, these has the perfect characteristics for glue. Now, don't get too excited about, you know, having some slug slime slapped onto your cut, because it takes a lot of slugs to form enough slime to fit the market. And, you know, slug slime farms aren't exactly practical because the slugs...
What are we doing here? You want to bring this around to some kind of point for me? Because, like, I am not seeing how we're going to get from where we are to the existence of God. I mean, I kind of thought I did see it for a second when you were going to tell me, like, oh, man, it turns out this slug's slime is perfect for closing wounds. And then you were going to tell me, like, oh, that's because God made it that way. What a wonderful God. He hid a little Easter egg for us in the slug slime. You know, but now you're saying like, yeah, it's very impractical actually. So like that can't be it, right?
Only exude this kind of slime when they're scared because they don't want birds. Like if a bird's flying overhead, out comes the sticky slug slime glue. And if the bird comes and tries to pull the...
We are 1 minute and 31 seconds into this 2 minute and 22-second video, and we still have no idea how any of this pertains to God.
The slug off the sidewalk, it's stuck to the sidewalk. So the only way to get the sticky glue is to scare the slugs. And slug slime farms aren't exactly practical. I mean,
you already said that. Couldn't you cut out repeat instances? Do we really need you to tell us that slug slime farms aren't practical twice in a row? in the 2-minute goddamn 22-second video?
I mean, you set up a movie theater, you put all your slugs on the seats, and you show them movies of scary birds. And
oh my God, this is so hilarious. Thank you so much for this comedic imagery. Wow. Take the slugs to the movie theater, show them the horror movie called Bird Attack. Show them The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. Oh my God, slugs hate birds and it scares them and they piss out their glue. Ah, yes. Glory to God.
And then you scrape the slug slime sticky glue off the seats. I mean, not exactly practical.
Dude, if I had proof of God, I feel, and it was like, man, I'm going to prove God. This video doesn't claim to just have some evidence to suggest God. It claims it proves God. I feel like I'd throw that in there, you know, pretty early on. Like, guys, I've proven God. Here it is. Here it is. Here's the proof. But instead, 1 minute, 54 seconds thus far of learning about slugs. Not even really learning much, just learning that slugs leave slime trails. And I guess those slime trails might have some medical applicability. And that's all we've learned.
So what did they do? They figured out how to synthesize it.
Wow.
And we now have the formula for sticky slug slime glue that is currently being used to seal up wounds. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Because we figured out what God did first.
That is your proof of God? That's it? We saw something in nature and then emulated it. Therefore, God exists. Okay. You see how when I just like say it out like that, it doesn't actually prove anything other than the existence of nature and us? Like, failing some brain in a vat hypothesis, human beings exist, nature exists, none of this is in dispute. It's not practical to harvest it from the slugs themselves, so what we'll do is we'll synthesize it. Bam. Oh, that proves God, though. How does that prove God? In what way? By what logic?
So we can learn from creation, develop products that benefit us in a multitude of ways, even slug slime glue. You know, God,
Dude, my first impression of that guy was exactly right. He is the betrayer because he shows up to teach you about snails. And then he drops this weird God bomb at the very end. And it's like inscrutably bad logic, holds zero water, makes no goddamn sense. But it's just there. It's like, by the way, God is real. If you like these fun facts about slugs, you have no choice but to accept my definitive proof of God. Interesting hypothesis, man. You made me think there.